The Tampa Bay Buccaneers punched their ticket, beat the
Do we have to?
beat the Carolina Panthers 30-24. Yeah, I mean, Tampa wins the division. I had some conversations with some people about Tom's future. I ended up writing about it this past week. And I thought one of the really interesting things when I was talking to people about Tom's future was like, okay, well, give me this scenario where he ends up in Tampa Bay. And like straight up, multiple people were like, if that happens, everybody on the offensive coaching staff's not coming back. They're like, there's going to be some coaching staff changes. I'm like, really? Like that's what we're putting this on. This is the coach. Yeah, it sounds like if he's going to end up in Tampa, there's going to be some firings in the offensive coaching staff. So I'd be prepared for that. The one thing I will take away from this game, well, really two things. It's weird because at times I look at Sam Darnold and Carroll, and I'm like, sometimes he really looks like a competent quarterback. Like
he does.
Really,
he just well. Yeah,
I don't
credit,
and I don't want to fall in that trap because I've been there with Sam Darnold. I've been like, he's a competent quarterback, and then he just is horrible again, and he's getting hit, and he's going to one read, and he can't get to 2 and 3. That caught my eye early in the game, but then, obviously the connection between Tom and Mike Evans is huge because Mike Evans has been pedestrian the most of the season. It was that thing where you watched it and you're like, well, if they crank this up, 3 touchdowns, huge game, monster game for Mike Evans, is it possible then that there's a trickle-down effect in the offense? If you get Mike Evans really going on the Mike Evans level we're used to, if they get that, does that end up being like when Rodgers all of a sudden, Christian Watson starts nuking guys, and you're like, okay, Rodgers clearly likes that. Now I look at Tampa and I'm like, could Mike Evans, breathing some life back into Mike Evans and showcasing that, change a little bit of the expectations for Tampa's offense? I still think it's probably a one and done, although, they're going to play a home game. Let's see who they draw. I don't think they go far, but something changed at least watching this game.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Evans was just awesome in this game. He was always open deep. When he wasn't open on the intermediate stuff, he just beat guys. Like he had so many contested,
though, too, right? You got to admit,
and I'm getting to that. I've used the stat a lot. I'm going to use it again because I think there's some context here. Before this season, the history of 45-year-old quarterbacks in the NFL, there was one guy who ever threw a pass. It was George Blanda. I might be a little off on assessment, but I think this is right. 7 of 18, 116 yards in totality. That was the totality of 45-year-old quarterbacks in the NFL before this year. Today, Tom Brady, at 45 years old, was 34 of 45 for 432 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions in a division clinching game. We've never seen anything like this, okay? Like people like talk about, Brady's declining, and he is. Like I think that's clear. It's been clear all year. But there's going to be a time 5, 10, 15 years down the road, we're going to look back at the season and say, a 45-year-old guy did this? Really? Like, this is never, not only has it never been done, but it's never been close. Again, 116 yards through the first 102 seasons of NFL football for 45-year-old quarterbacks. And this guy throws for 432 and 3 against the Panthers? Get out of here. It's one of the most unbelievable stories we've ever seen. It really is. Like, there's no comp to this. For as much as I really don't like this Buccaneers team, I tip my cap to Brady. It'll be good to see him in the playoffs yet again. I mean, I think it's like aside from the year he missed with the ACL, it's like his 21st straight year in the playoffs or something. Like, it's just something crazy. Like, he's had an unbelievable career. Hats off to him.
Listen, one thing too that people should understand here. He's got a really good chance. He's going to approach throwing for 5,000 yards this season. Now, 17 games, I get it. He's got 24 touchdown passes right now, 9 interceptions, completing 66% of his passes. His passer ratings going into next week is going to be high 80s, low 90s, right?
Yeah.
I get it, and I've watched it, and it hasn't been great to watch. But I'm like, if you just blindly take these numbers and attach them to a lot of quarterbacks in this league, we'd be like, it's pretty damn good. That's pretty
right.
Like,
especially this year when half the teams in the NFL can't come up with a competent quarterback. It's just, him being above average this year is unheard of. It's unheard of. I can't say this enough. There's nothing like this in sports history, really. Like, it's ridiculous what he's doing. Again, hats off to him because this is just insane.